The new Party 1019. The new Party 1019. The new Party 1019. New York's #1 for throwbacks.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to In Touch with Reality podcast. Today we have a special guest. He goes by the name of Iceman, D.B.H. How you doing?
What's poppin', Carmela? I'm good. What's up?
I'm chilling. I'm glad to have you here today. You know,
I'm glad
you
to
made
be
it.
here. Yeah.
That's what's up. A little rain came down, but you know, you made it, and I appreciate that. So, what's going on? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well,
for the people who don't know, because I know you're very known. So.
Yeah, I'm a hip hop artist. I'm a rap artist. You know, from Brooklyn, East New York. I've been in the game for a little minute now. You know, I've been rapping for a long time. I've been rapping probably since I was probably 9-10 years old. I've been spitting, but I just started taking, things seriously as a career since 2018, 2019 or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. And where you from? Like, what you repping?
I'm from Brooklyn, East New York, ENY. Yeah.
Oh, okay, East New York. I got a lot of family. I have a lot of family in East New York.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of family, so I'm very familiar with East New York. I'm from Brooklyn myself. So that's what's up. What was your childhood growing up in East New York? How was it?
My childhood growing up in Brooklyn, East New York was crazy. I ain't even gonna lie because, when I was coming up in East New York and Brooklyn at the time, like in the, early 90s, like late 90s going into the early 2000s, there was a lot of killing going on, like a lot of murder. We had that the highest murder rate in the whole New York City. It was a lot of killings, a lot of shootings going on and stuff like that. So yeah, I grew up in a real crazy era and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. I feel you. It definitely was like that in that time.
Yeah.
So how did you get into music? Like, did your environment inspire you to do music, or is that something like you was embedded in you, or you've been doing?
How I got into music?
Yes.
All right, so I was listening to music all the time, actually, as a kid. Mm-hmm. I was listening to the radio, watching BET and stuff like that, watching, Tigger. What was that, Tigger in the Basement? That's what it was?
Oh, yeah,
back
Big
in the
Tigger?
day? Yeah, Tigger in the Basement. Mm-hmm. I used to watch, the Countdown on BET.
Mm-hmm. I remember all of that. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 36. Yeah.
Oh, you're 36. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
The videos on MTV and stuff like that.
Right.
What's that, TRL?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Carson Daly and stuff. I used to watch 106 in Park
right.
and all that.
When they had Free and AJ up there, remember?
my sister-in-law, she was married to my older brother at the time. She was working with Wu-Tang. Mm-hmm. And she was working with ODB and Method Man and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta be looking at my shit.
I gotta go to the next.
Yeah, I just got my nails done. Yeah.
Why you looking?
But so she was working with Wu-Tang and she was working with Method Man and a couple of them, Inspector Deck, a couple of them, and she would always come to my mom's house or whatever and give us little flyers and stuff like that we could put on our walls and posters from Wu-Tang and stuff. And then my brother, he was working close with Russell Simmons and Diddy and all them and shit like that because he was used to be on the road with different artists and stuff like that. So I was around the music game early. I seen a lot of stuff that was going on. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you've been outside. So tell us about your new single, More Bottles, your single.
Yeah, More Bottles, that's my new single.
That's one of your big...
that's my new single that's out right now. That's what I'm having a single release party for on the 28th.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm going to be the special guest, everybody.
Yeah, Carmela go special guest. Yeah. So More Bottles, yeah, that's my new song and stuff. That's my new club song or whatever and all that. And I also got a new EP about to drop, Hustler's Advocate. That's coming out. We putting the finishing touches on that, and that's about to be released soon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And besides that, do you have any more projects that's coming out or whatever?
I got songs with other people, a couple features that I'm working on and stuff like that with a couple of artists from the north, a couple of artists from down south, a couple of artists from the Midwest that want to work with me and stuff like that. So yeah, we working on those too. Yeah.
Okay. And I see you on tour, I see you doing your thing on tour. You hitting them states and stuff like that, So how's it going? How's everything going, with the tour?
With the tour I mean, this my third time, actually, going on, tours and stuff like that because, I first started maybe a couple of years ago, and I was, opening up for, Pooh Shiesty and stuff like that, opening up for
Okay.
Big 30 and all that. I was going to Florida and I was doing shows. I was going to PA. I was going to Atlanta doing shows. I opened up for Gucci Mane and stuff like that in Atlanta. Then I opened up for a couple people from Wu-Tang and stuff like that. So I just been moving around and stuff like that. But I'm starting to get used to the tour life. At first, I wasn't used to it because I was away from my family for a little while, and I was moving around to different states, jumping from airline to airline, going from hotel to hotel, going to Airbnb to Airbnb and stuff, carrying personal stuff with me, meeting new people and stuff like that from other areas, that I'm not really familiar with, and not knowing what's going to happen next, like when I go certain places. So, it's risky. You taking a risk, you putting yourself out there, so you could build your brand and try to get more build a new fan base. But you'll never know what's going to happen when you go to these towns.
Tour. You just are getting everybody to know you. You putting yourself out there, like you said,
Yeah.
So it's bigger than your hometown,
Yeah.
And they actually say you should leave your hometown because it be a lot of hate going on. People you grew up with, your closest friends, they don't like to support you.
Yeah. Actually, like when I first got signed, my first time getting signed, I got signed to a down south label. I signed to Trill ENT, and stuff like that with Little Webby and them and stuff like that, and Boosie. But then I was supposed to branch off, and I was supposed to go to Badass Syndicate, but we ended up having a little fallout over certain stipulations that was going on with my contract, as far as like with my management deal with them and stuff like that. So as a artist coming from New York, you could go out of town and you could really get embraced by people that's from other states, and people will probably want to sign you, try to give you a deal or try to work with you, but you also got to be careful.
Also, your sound is, because our sound is a little different in other states also, so they like a different sound, so that makes you stand out as well. Yeah,
they know you from New York.
Exactly.
They can tell by your accent,
right,
and by the way you talking and stuff like that. It's slang.
So who inspired you to do music? Like, who's one of your inspirations? Like a few of your inspirations?
One of my inspirations, of course, Biggie. Notorious
that's my
B.I.G.
number one, Big. Then Jay-Z.
Can't forget
Jay-Z, but
can't forget Big, but Jay-Z too. And it's crazy. Like I listen to Jay, but I wasn't listening to Jay that much growing up. But a lot of people say that I sound like Jigga, and I'll be like, nah, I don't think I feel like sound like Jay. They be like, nah,
probably like
you
his
sound
prom.
like Jay.
Like
probably, nah.
Probably because your delivery, like how you just, it's smooth. You just get to the point. You know what I'm saying? Probably that's probably why.
A lot of people say like Jay or like Big L. They compare me to and stuff like that from Harlem.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know about Big L, but I know about, because Big L, I don't know. I never really, I know who he is from Lost Boys, right? Was he that one?
That was
what's his name? What
Bears from Harlem. He from Harlem.
Oh no, wasn't it L from Lost? What was the other guy? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting something confused.
Hold
I'm
on,
sorry.
let me see. That's Freaky Ty?
No, that's from Dipset and all that Freaky Ty.
I thought Freaky Ty was from
Freaky
Lost Boys, LB.
Who was it? It was
Freaky Ty, and then you have Mr. Cheeks.
Oh yeah, Mr. Cheeks.
Yeah, from the Lost Boys.
And wasn't
in
it
Queens.
another one?
I forgot. That's so yeah.
Oh, I thought it was another one. Yes, I don't know. I think they had this. Why you That's how old that shit is.
Yeah, people don't remember that.
Lost
Yeah.
Boys. That used to be my shit. The Renee and all that. Yeah, that used to be my shit.
Yeah.
So, what's your ethic? What's your background and stuff like
My
that?
background? Yeah,
what ethnic? Yeah,
I'm Black, Indian, Guyanese, and South African. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you mix. So you be eating that fufu and nigusi and shit.
Yeah. My mom's side of the family, they like Black and Indian, but we got traces back to like Guyana and stuff like that. I grew up like being raised by a lot of Guyanese people and stuff like that in my neighborhood, and I got a lot of close family as Guyanese. Then like my father's side of the family, they South African. They from Johannesburg and all that, and Cape Town and all that shit. So I grew up on like seeing the West Indian side and African side of things. Yeah.
Okay. So what misconception do people have of you when they hear your music? Like, what you think it comes off as? Like,
people say I come off as cocky. People say I sound arrogant. People say I sound a little sassy.
Right.
Confident. They be like, this shit sound like some shit on the radio. That's what people say. When they hear me, they like, yo, this sound like some shit that's already like on the radio. That's how it's been out for a long time. Like, you sound like you already up there. And I'll be like, yeah.
Right. No, it do. There's a good, that song that I was listening to is really good. What is it? More Bottles?
More Bottles, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. It's dope. I like it. I like the vibe. We have you dancing. I was dancing a little bit in the living room earlier. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like when you're writing music, what do you focus more on? Do you focus more on like the hooks or like the verses? Like which? Because
I feel like you gotta focus on your hook first, the chorus, because that's what the people gonna be listening to. That's the first thing they gonna hear.
Yeah, exactly.
They gonna hear the beat, then they gonna hear the chorus.
Right.
Anything after that, you know, they probably gonna remember certain words, certain lyrics, certain verses.
But they always gonna remember
that
that hook,
chorus,
and
yeah,
that shit's
all
gonna
the
always
time.
pull them in. Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Like, what is the biggest moment in your career? Like, what is one of your favorite moments in your career?
One of the biggest moments in my career.
Like one of your favorite moments in your career.
One of my favorite moments in my career. That's damn.
You had to have like a favorite moment, like
One of my favorite moments in my career.
like got you hyped, that made you feel like you felt something,
Damn, I had a lot of moments. I'm trying to see because
So
I done did a lot of
them,
stuff.
right? It's a lot of them.
I mean, one of my favorite moments in my career was when I opened up for Pooh Shiesty and them in Florida, and I performed in front of like 30,000, 40,000 people.
Oh, really?
And stuff like that. Yeah, so it was a
Yeah, you was
lot
telling me
of people
about
in the
that.
crowd. So
That was like one of your biggest audiences.
yeah, biggest
ever?
audiences. Yeah,
Really?
biggest performances.
So you was hyped, right?
Yeah, I
know
was
you
hyped. Yeah, then
I would have been hyped, right?
I had brought my right hand with me and stuff like that, and it's so crazy. My right hand never been to Florida before. He Dominican, and he was born in DR. I'm like, yo,
Oh,
how
really?
you?
Wow.
I'm like, how you never been to Florida?
Florida.
Florida right there next to DR. He was like, nah, bro, I just never been there. He was like, yo, I'm glad you brought me out here. I appreciate it because a lot of niggas ain't gonna take niggas out the hood and bring them on tour with them to come to come in front of all these people and shit and help promote, his brand and stuff like that. I had my right hand. He was throwing my merchandise in the crowd, throwing T-shirts and stuff like that to the fans out there, like, mingling with the fans and stuff like that. Yeah.
So all right, so you've been on that vibe already, right? So that's what's up.
Yeah.
So what would you say is one of the biggest risks that you took in your career?
One of the biggest risks? One of the biggest risks I took to my career. Oh. One of the biggest risks?
That's a question you gotta think about, huh?
I don't know. I mean, I think damn, one of the biggest risks I took in my career. What was that? I don't know. I could say shit. Something happened to me when I was in LA. I was in Cali. I was in LA. I was supposed to go get interviewed in LA at one podcast and in one part of LA. And I was supposed to be leaving from the flight, and I guess my flight had got canceled.
Right.
So it wasn't leaving till like the next day or something like that. The other flight I was supposed to catch. So I had to end up getting on the Greyhound and taking it to a whole nother part of LA.
Wow.
Yeah, just to get back to where I was supposed to go, be leaving from, and I had to do another interview over there in that town. So I was on Greyhound waiting for the
So
bus
that shit was kind of risky.
and stuff like that. I was around. I seen all types of niggas. I seen mad Crip niggas running around, MS-13 niggas. I'm looking like, yo, what's going on out here? I'm like, this shit kind of weird out here. These niggas running around with tattoos all on their face, on their ears, on their forehead. I was like, oh, this shit crazy.
That's crazy.
Like, and I'm from New York, so I'm like,
Right.
I don't know what the hell about to happen out here.
Exactly. You know how they feel about us, right?
Yeah, that's a fact. Hell yeah.
Right. So if you had one thing you could change about the world, what would you change? Because there's so much stuff going on.
If I had one thing I could change about the world, I would like I feel like I would raise certain people pay, specifically for certain like jobs where I feel like people gotta work on the outside
Right.
during like dangerous weathers and stuff like that.
Right.
I was talking about this other day. I said some people in New York and like that work certain jobs and stuff like that, they don't get as much credit as I feel like they should get credit for, and they don't get the pay that they should be getting paid for. Because I know a lot of people like be in these corporate buildings, or some people that's behind the scenes that run some of these businesses. They be behind the scenes, like working in the office, dealing with certain paperwork, and they getting big, paychecks and shit like that. But I'm thinking about the people that be busting their ass, working like, 15 hours in one day, 12 hours, and they outside working or doing like a lot of labor work and stuff. I feel like they should up to pay for them people, like them type of people.
Right,
Like,
I feel you. Yeah, they should. They definitely should.
yeah.
Like I was looking at the people who work on the ships and they catch the fish and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a really dangerous job.
Dangerous job too.
But they get paid though. They really get paid because that's really risky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with you on that one. They should. A lot of people don't get compensated as they should.
Yeah.
Yep. So how do you deal with hate when it comes your way in the industry?
How I deal with hate when it come my way in the industry? I mean, I feel like I've been hated on a lot all my life. So I be looking at it like, yo, this is just another like, obstacle that I gotta get over or whatever and stuff like that. You got some people that's gonna like you, you got people that's gonna dislike you, all throughout your life. So it's like, whoever I'm feeling at the time, when I got good energy with, that want to do business with me, and we can make some money together in this music shit, that's who I'm a vibe with. That's who I'm a deal with. If people feel like they don't want to deal with me and we ain't got to do business together, or they ain't got to listen to my music, or or I try to stay away from the negative energy. I try to stay away from people that's not trying to like elevate. They're not trying to elevate. They're not trying to uplift nobody, or they not trying to grow. They not trying to. They don't want no growth.
Right.
Like I try to stay away from that. Anybody that try to like, or I feel like they have doubts about what I'm trying to do, or have doubts about, doing something that could possibly help them to better their situation and stuff like that. So I try to stay away from them type of people and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever like? Cause I know when you grinding and trying to come up, you get a lot of negative energy. Cause I get it, So did you ever like have people around you that like try to doubt you and tell you like you can't do something? Or
Yeah, I had people tell me all the time.
All about
yeah.
you're getting too old to do this, and
I never really looked at it like when people talk about the age as far as like being an artist, I could tell like they not really in tune with what's going on in the world.
Because it does not have an age.
Yeah,
music
because
is music. If you could deliver good music, I feel like
yeah,
you can be 82.
Yeah.
You might want to change the jazz or something.
You got people. You got people that that do reggae, do dancehall, soca, R&B, soul, country, and they like in their 40s,
Right.
in their 50s, and in their late 30s, and all that. So it's not really about the age. But like when people say stuff like that, I just look at them like, yo, they don't know no better, and they probably had a dream that they was trying to reach for,
and
they couldn't do it. So they trying to tell somebody else they can't do it and stuff like that.
They negative
Or,
and
they trying to like. They probably got a fucked up perception of me or what's going on with my shit, and they don't know the game like that. They don't know the industry or the business behind this shit, so they don't really know what's going on. So they just going by what they see other people doing, or how they feel like the industry is trying to push this shit in front of people's faces on the social media. Like you got to be a certain way, or you got to do this, or you got to do that, or this the new fad and all that. Like I don't really go by that. I just take care of my business, and then I just keep it pushing. But yeah, I try to.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I try to stay away from people like that. People that have doubts in themselves or in me, or trying to accomplish anything and shit like that. Because you could do anything, you put your mind to, for real. Yeah.
Right, I agree with that too. I get away from people like that. Like I get really like.
I gotta
like,
get low.
Because if you see me trying to do something positive, you know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
supposed to be uplifting me, encouraging me. You're not supposed to be trying to put me down, telling me this, that. So you think it's more like them like caring for you, or it's like more of a hate thing?
I feel like it's more of like, it's a hate thing. Because why would you if you see somebody doing something positive?
Why does it matter? Like how
Yeah.
you feel?
Yeah, why, like,
You know what I'm saying?
why would
What
you
they-
even try to tell somebody some shit like that? That's like somebody that's like trying to pursue a career and like being a basketball player, or being a lawyer, a doctor, anything. I'm gonna tell you, do
do what you do.
do what you gotta do, and do it to the best of your ability, and try to make something happen the best way you know how. I ain't gonna tell you to stop doing the shit. Yeah.
So what makes you passionate and keep you motivated?
What keep me motivated is that at first, when I first started and I got into the game and shit, I ain't know that much. I just knew that I could rap, and I knew that a lot of people in my neighborhood felt like I was nice in music, And I was around some people that I felt like they wanted to help me, but they ain't really know that much about the game. How I knew about it later, like as I started to like, you know, progress and stuff like that. I started learning more about the game and knowing more than a lot of people that was around me and stuff like that. So I felt like I don't know. I felt like certain people couldn't help me after a while. It was up to me.
Exactly, yeah.
To do everything for myself. Like some people could be a part of the team, some people could, you know, contribute and do certain things, but ultimately for me to get to the direction that I wanted to get to, it was on me.
Yeah, you gotta
Like,
put that work
I gotta
in.
do it. I gotta go move and shit like that. So knowing what I know now and stuff like that, as I started, you know, making progress and I started like going through different phases in my career and stuff like that, running to different people and them like teaching me certain things, I felt like that kept me going. Like that kept me going, knowing that it's different stages to this shit, because you got certain people that's in the music game that feel like, oh shit, all hope is lost and I don't know where to go next, and they just doing anything. They just spending excessive amount of money on marketing and spending money on management and all these other stuff that they don't really need to spend money for, because they don't got knowledge of the game and they don't know that it's levels to this shit and it's certain stages that you gonna get into where I'm not saying that you would have to stop doing music, but you gonna have to start making more smarter choices, make more smarter decisions as far as, you know, where you investing your money in, where you putting your money at and stuff like that, if you want longevity in the game and if you want to get to a certain place. Yeah.
So what advice would you give any other some upcoming artists that's trying to come up or whatever, like things you learn in the field on your
nails. Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, like,
things you learn in the field. What advice would you give to any other artists?
Advice that I would give to other artists that's coming up, I would say learn as much about the game as possible. Learn as much about the music business and industry as possible as you can. Try to keep some good people around you and shit that want to see you win and that's got your back, and they going to tell you when you right, tell you when you wrong and shit like that. They ain't going to steer you in the wrong direction. Get a job, nigga.
Right. Okay.
Get a job. Get a couple jobs. Get like 2 jobs.
Right.
Get a side hustle plus something else on top of that, because
Exactly.
this shit costs.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't know if anybody noticed, but nigga, I blew over 100,000, probably $100,000 on my rap career and shit. I done invested a lot of money into this stuff. So I'm talking about from the traveling to studio time to getting shit mixed and mastered to, you know, merch. Photo shoots, all that shit costs bread. To promotional platforms, to getting yourself out there, opening up for big major artists. All this shit costs money.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
So if you ain't got no money, don't be out there just thinking like, oh, you gonna come out with a hit song and somebody gonna come find you. You better put yourself out there, because everybody else doing what they gotta do for them. They ain't really got time for you and shit like that. So you better get you a job for real. And another thing I would say is, let's keep on working, stay dedicated and shit, stay motivated, and what else? Yeah, just keep on learning, cause this shit is like an ongoing process. I'm not gonna say I know everything about the game, but I know a lot. But it's still more stuff that I'm still learning, and other people that I'm still meeting that could open other doors and other opportunities for me. So that's why I say like this shit is an ongoing thing.
Right. Okay. So, how do you feel about what's going on with 22 G's and his people in jail?
It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate for them guys. You know those when I guess when he was in the towns and his people and shit, you know, we on two total opposite sides of the fence and shit. Like, you know, people in my neighborhood not really fucking with, you know, his team and shit like that, and his team not really fucking with people from my side. So it's very unfortunate what's happening to him in there. I mean, I hope that he makes it out of there alive, but I heard that, you know, he been getting violated and shit like that. So
really,
I mean,
what type of violation?
He been getting beat up, been getting slapped around and stuff like that, and that's crazy, you know.
Damn.
Going there, you talking all this murder one, you know, tough guy talk, and then you go to jail, and then people signing in and getting slapped up and beat up and stuff like that. It's very unfortunate, man. It's crazy. But I hope that he learns from this experience.
What do you think about guys like that just, they talk all of that, act like they tough on the streets, but when they get in there, it's like a whole other story.
It's like that. It's like even in town and stuff like that. You might catch them on the right day. If you catch them and shit, they might not be that tough and stuff like that. So it's like people could put on a front for a very long time and act like they somebody they not, or try to be somebody they not. But soon, somewhere down the line, they gonna get, somebody gonna call a bluff, and that's what's happening right now, man. People are seeing this young man for who he truly is, which is a good kid, and he should just be who he is, man, and stop trying to be 22 G's and be who his mama raised him to be. Be a good kid.
I always say that. I just spoke about that. I said you got to be who you are with the audience and without one.
Yeah.
You got to be the same person, because people gonna recognize you're not a real one.
Yeah.
It just show your character and stuff. So you got to keep your character on the 100. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out here doing all this sucker shit or whatever situation.
You got to keep it real like Carmelo. Yeah.
That's right. The realest.
The realest.
Right.
Gotta be in tune with reality, you are. And touch with reality. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So what was your experience being incarcerated?
My experience being incarcerated, I mean, I was Gucci and shit like that. I mean, I'm not saying I don't glorify jail.
Did you get beat up?
I ain't glorify. Hell no. I ain't get what? I had a couple scraps, got it on a couple times with a couple niggas and shit like that. I had to get crazy a couple times, but I wasn't experiencing nothing like that. What they experiencing, right. I'm chilling. I did my bit. I had people supporting me. Right? Yeah, right. But that's because I was like, I already had a real name in the town already and shit before I went to jail and shit like that. These are little kids we talking about. These guys wasn't doing nothing. They were just dancing in the club and shit like that and wearing fake Amiris. Like this is what's happening. Like this is what's going on.
Oh my God. Yeah. I be trying to stay neutral, y'all. Yeah. Don't pay me no mind. I laugh at everything, all right? Mm-hmm. So where do you see hip hop in New York City going?
Where do I see the state of hip hop in New York, where it's going? I'm not really sure, but I ain't gonna lie. I don't like a lot of what's going on right now in New York City. I'm talking about like compared to when I leave out of New York and I go to other states, like I go to Atlanta, I go down south, I go to Florida, I go to Texas. I feel like it's more unity. I feel like it's more unified. I feel like New York City, everybody just got this crab in the barrel syndrome and everybody trying to like come up off of other people. They trying to like not help other artists really grow as artists. They trying to go against each other and everybody trying to outdo each other. Nobody's really trying to work together and stuff like that. And I don't like that. I don't like the state that part of the game in New York City. I don't like it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I hope things get better. Yeah.
Right. I'm not feeling that part neither because trust me, it happens all the time. People don't want to see you win. They want to pull you down. They don't want to put you on to certain things, get you in certain doors, I know all about it, trust me. Yeah. Yeah, so let's get a little bit more personal now. You know? So how many kids do you have? You have children?
Yeah, I have a daughter, like from a previous like situation I was in that I basically, not my biological daughter, but somebody that I raised and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't have any children?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Do you have a girlfriend?
Nope. Single.
Oh, okay.
Ready for Carmelo.
Listen.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel about dark skins though. I don't know how you feel about chocolate men though.
Oh my God. Let's talk about you.
Like
okay.
Chocolate?
Let's talk about you. So listen, you throwing me off my game right now. You gotta stop.
Gotta stop? Okay, I got you.
So where do you see yourself in about probably like 5 years from now?
5 years from now, where I see myself going to the gym because I gotta put down some of this weight for all the good food that I'm be eating from all over the world. Right. Because I'm gonna be doing a lot of traveling, a lot of eating good, I love eating. Yes. Yeah, I love eating. I'm gonna be making a lot more money, and I feel like I'm gonna be owning a couple of businesses, and I'm just be setting up, possibly, hopefully married by that time. And probably like, just sitting down like and living good off my investments and stuff like that and creating generational wealth and shit like that. That's why I see myself in a couple years from now. Yeah, and making more bigger investments and accomplishing bigger goals. That's it.
Right. So what is something that's unique about you that, like, you know, that separates you from everyone else?
Something that's unique about me. I don't know. A lot of people told me I'm overly loyal.
Oh, you're overly loyal.
Yeah, I'm overly loyal.
What's
Like
your
I'm too
sign?
loyal. I'm a Gemini.
Oh my God, Gemini, Lord.
Yeah, they
Jesus,
said
have
we got
mercy.
split personalities
Ooh,
and shit. They say
what Gemini?
I'm a Gemini.
Ooh, Lord Jesus,
Yeah.
they something else.
They be saying
Lord.
that we controlling and we like being in control of
Y'all
shit. We
are
bosses.
the
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, they say that too. But you gotta be a little crazy. You feel me?
Y'all a lot crazy.
If you wanna do anything big in this life or anything that's impactful, you gotta be a little crazy, or people gonna feel like you a little crazy because it might have been something that nobody did before or something that people scared to do. So you gotta be a risk taker.
Right, I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. If you could change one thing about the industry, what would you change?
If I had to change one thing about the industry, what would I change? If I could change one thing about the industry, what would I change? If you come into this game or you get into the industry, you have to know how to rap.
Right, exactly.
That's what I would change.
Ooh,
if you don't
boy.
know how to rap, if you're not really a spitter, if you're not really a lyricist, and you think that you just gonna be floating through this game and because you
Yes,
harmonizing,
I know somebody like that.
and you
Oh
using
my
auto
God, I'm not
tune,
saying
and
no
you
names.
using auto tune all the time, and you a singer, you a singer nigga, and then on top of that, you just feel like you just gonna come through with a couple melodies and make a nice little chorus, but you ain't gotta really be spitting about nothing. I feel like they shouldn't even allow you to be pushing your music through any type of like distribution, nothing. You should just keep them where they at, like for real, cause the real hip hop about to come back soon. Real spitters about to start coming back. So yeah, that gotta go. Like
Right. I heard when I drop shit, that's what people tell me. They be like, "Oh, this is real hip hop. This is real music."
yeah, as
Cause
they
you know,
should.
this shit going on right now. You know, I don't know what this shit is going on right now. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
but it ain't my type of music. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a little older.
You old school,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I like the '90s still.
The
You know what I'm
90s,
saying? So
yeah.
I be trying to mix the '90s with right now. That's the shit I'm on. I'm still in the '90s, but I still mix it a little bit with what the times right now. You know? So
Yeah.
that's how you got to do it. I keep the old soul and the new soul.
Yeah, gotta have a couple of old songs in the stash, couple
Exactly.
new songs in the stash. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. You know, I think we got enough
That's too much. You want to go
on
into
Iceman D.B.H.
Alright.
He don't want this interview to end, guys. I understand. You know, he want to be with the mommy all night.
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
But yeah, I want to thank you for coming through. Okay, I appreciate it. It was raining. You made it through, whatever. And like I said, you want to give me your Instagram where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Iceman _D.B.H. Or go to my website www.icemandbh.com, or you can find me on my Facebook page, Iceman D.B.H. Or you could Google me. Go on Google, Iceman D.B.H. Everything gonna pop up. You know, everything that's going on with me and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, make sure y'all check him out. And thank y'all for tuning in.
And make sure y'all check out Carmela Mommy on
Yes.
this podcast, most fire podcast out here right now.
That's
yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time, guys. Later.
Later.